Welcome to the Times TV News Bulletin. I'm Sam Kabambe. First, the headlines. Wrangles continue in the Malawi Congress Party's Southern Regional Committee, with one faction saying it will hold elections this coming Saturday. A spate of armed robberies rocks the commercial city of Blantyre. A rights body says Malawi is failing to meet most United Nations human rights recommendations. And in sports, B forward Mighty Wanderers says their club colours remain blue despite announcing that the team will be wearing black and orange jerseys. We also have business and international news. Stay tuned. After several months of fights and discussions, a faction calling itself Concerned Members in the Malawi Congress Party's Southern Regional Committee says it will proceed with elections to choose a new committee. Spokesperson for the grouping, Frank Bauleni, said the elections will be held on Saturday at their regional offices in Blantyre. He spoke to Olivia Mgusha.
Before we received the response that the President and the National Executive has instituted a committee to look into the issues we raised in our petition. But that is not a case right now, because we have read our constitution. It is giving us members mandate to call for elections. The National Executive is supposed to receive what outcome from that convention. They just want to receive outcome.
Efforts to contact the incumbent regional chairperson proved futile as his phone went unanswered. A spate of armed robberies have rocked Limbi, where robbers have so far attacked companies at gunpoint with one person shot in the arm. On Monday, robbers killed an accountant at Petroda head office in Blantyre and went away with 4.5 million kwacha. So far, the robbers have snatched a total of 8.2 million kwacha within a space of 2 days. Our reporter Herbert Ntua visited one of the crime scenes, Shire Limited, where robbers went away with money meant for salaries for the Shire staff on Tuesday morning.
It was around 10 o'clock in the morning of 23rd December when robbers armed with two guns grabbed a bag full of cash amounting to 3.7 million kwacha from Shire Limited's cashier. The robbers grabbed the bag from the cashier when he was entering the office premises at the main entrance. In an attempt to apprehend the robbers, a police officer who was guarding at Airtel, which is just opposite the crime scene, stopped this brown Toyota you see in the picture and tried to chase the robbers, who were said to be using a blue car not in the picture, but could not catch them due to a traffic jam. The thugs got away. Here is an account of an eyewitness.
I was just right here when I heard some noises. People were shouting, "Thief! Thief!" I saw a blue car moving at a very high speed. It passed through right here, then into the road, then off it vanished. People were pelting stones at it in order to stop the thugs. I also pelted a few stones.
This is happening just after another robbery took place just a few meters away from Shire Limited, where robbers stole 4.7 million kwacha at gunpoint at Petroda office near Lever Brothers.
It was around 10 in the morning when we received a report saying that there is an armed robbery at Shire Hardware, which is the opposite Airtel shop in Limbi at Yannex. And I was the CID officers rushed to that place, but the moment they reached the place, the robbery had already taken place. But so far, we've gathered that a man amounting to 3.7 million have been stolen, and we haven't yet arrested any suspect concerning.
For Times TV in Limbi, this is Herbert Ntua reporting.
Irish Aid and the Royal Norwegian Embassy, in collaboration with Save the Children Italy, have set aside close to 3.4 billion kwacha for the 2014-2015 social cash transfer. The program will target over 44,000 households. Rolling out this year's program at Martin's Primary School ground at Mayaka Trading Center in Zomba, Save the Children Country Director Matthew Pickard said the country's recurring food insecurity woes need both medium and long-term solutions. Kenneth Jali has more in this report.
This year's intervention, which will run from December 2014 to March 2015, is being bankrolled by Irish Aid, the Royal Norwegian Embassy, and Save the Children Italy through NGO Consortium. A total of 44,144 households are this year expected to receive a monthly allocation of 10,500 kwacha for 4 months from this year's program that is this year being implemented by a consortium comprising of Christian Aid, Concern Worldwide, Concern Universal, Go Malawi, Oxfam, and Save the Children.
The MDAC on a continuous basis is reviewing its caseload, that the MDAC is trying to make sure at all times that they're reaching the communities that need to be reached. So there is a need for that continuous assessment right through the season. So, if there are hotspots identified in Balaka, that those communities can be reached.
Rolling out this year's program at St. Martin's Primary School ground at Mayanka Trading Center in Zomba, Save the Children Country Director Matthew Swickard said the recurring food insecurity wars that the country experiences mostly need both medium to long-term solutions.
What we want to see is a more comprehensive program of the governments looking at how to ensure they are able to properly protect and provide adequate social protection to vulnerable families.
Launching the program, Principal Secretary in the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, Paul Chunguzeni, urged the beneficiaries of the program to manage the finances prudently.
According to the Malawi Rapid Assessment Committee report, we are assisting 19 districts. In these 19 districts, there is also a difference. In some areas, we are distributing food through WFP, and in some areas, we are doing the cash transfer program.
Beneficiaries to the program this year will be getting their money from Airtel money agents, and this is what Airtel authorities had to say on the initiative.
Airtel money is coming in to actually provide the platform as part of its agenda for financial inclusion.
Some of the districts that are to benefit from this year's program include Nsanje, Zomba, Machinga, Mulanje, Nchinji, Ncheu, Dedza, Lirongorulo, Doa, and Salima. Kenneth Jali, Times TV, Zomba.
Center for the Development of People, CEDEP, has said Malawi hasn't met most of the human rights recommendations that were made by the United Nations in 2010. Executive Director for CEDEP, Gift Trepens, says Malawi could be given about 50% in the way it has implemented the recommendations. Trepens spoke to our reporter Jacob Nankonya.
I think we have so many challenges that we have seen because 3/4 of those recommendations were not implemented. But as well, we have a lot of challenges in the human rights sector. But as well, with the overseeing bodies that are making sure that those recommendations are being implemented, including the capacities of such institutions like the Malawi Human Rights Commission, the judiciary. The capacities are also an issue.
He was saying this over the weekend during a meeting where civil society organizations were reviewing a humanitarian rights report which Malawi submitted to the United Nations.
The meeting is about the UN human rights report that Malawi has submitted, but as well as civil society organizations have also submitted shadow reports to the United Nations on the status of human rights in Malawi. So as civil society organizations, we were coming just to take stock on those reports that we have submitted, but as well to look at the time frame on, as to when the Malawi government is going to appear before the United Nations in Geneva to present those reports.
A heavy downpour experienced in Blantyre on Monday has disrupted distribution of water in the city following the washing away of a Blantyre Water Board pipe that supplies water to the Sochi zone. The development, according to the Blantyre Water Board officials, has escalated the water crisis residents are experiencing in Blantyre. Blantyre Water Board Distribution Manager Bright Mziliwanda caught up with Adam Perry.
Of course, we may take about 2 to 3 days, but otherwise we are trying our best that before Christmas people should have water. And I hope by Thursday we should be able to finalize, the latest Thursday we should be able to finalize these works. This is a big pipe. It's a 400mm diameter pipe, and it takes a lot of water. Of course, it wouldn't be easy to estimate the figures in terms of volumes, but otherwise it takes thousands of cubic meters of water to supply Mount Pleasant and the Queens Central Hospital and all these areas in such a zone. So it takes a lot of water.
And as the rainy season has begun across the country, humanitarian assistance has started flowing in to assist the people of Nsanje who have been affected again this year by hazardous effects of the wet season. On Monday, World Vision Malawi handed over assorted items to victims of a hailstorm that hit several villages around the traditional authority Mlolo's area, where roofs were blown off while some houses were completely razed down to the ground. Archibald Kasakura reports from Nsanje.
For the past decades, rainy season has brought bad memories to people living in the lower Shire districts of Chikwawa and Nsanje. Earlier this month, torrential hailstorm destroyed houses across several villages under TM Lolo, leaving 1,000 households destitute. Shelter and food barns were swept by the heavy winds, which have been a regular occurrence every year in the flood-prone districts. By Monday this week, hundreds of victims rushed to Makanga Admac Depot to receive the relief items that included maize, beans, tarpaulins and boots. World Vision's Humanitarian Emergency Affairs Manager, Dingiswaya Jere, told Times Television that his organization responded to calls for assistance made by Nsanje North parliamentarian, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Esther Ncheka Chilenje.
We're here to help the people that were affected by the storms that affected over 1,000 people, households. And some have managed to reconstruct their shelter, but about 905 people have not yet reconstructed their shelter. So we came to assist those families with tents that they can try to stay in, and also clothes. But also we have come in with food assistance. We're giving out cereals, that is maize, 50 kg bag for each household, and 10 kgs of pulses, that is beans, to each household. So we have given out to about 1,000 families. That's why we're here, and the total cost of it is about $34,000 US, approximately maybe 12 million kwacha. That's the value of the items that we are distributing today.
According to District Commissioner for Nsanje Hare Piri, various stakeholders are strategizing on the long-term interventions for the perennial problems.
This is an area that we always experience problems. You see, when we have heavy rains in Toro Granta, I find that water comes down and that water it actually leads to flooding, then we get affected. So we have had several meetings with a number of stakeholders, NGOs like Malawi Action Aid, Red Cross. The idea is that we should come up with plans that will actually address these challenges that we have here once and for all. So I'm very positive that in the next 2-3 years we should be able to come up with concrete interventions that will deal with these problems, and that will be a solution worth emulating.
For many years, there have been calls for people from flood-prone areas to move upland, but this has met huge resistance from the concerned people. Reporting for Times Television from Nsanje, this is Archibald Kasakura.
And several families in Durande Township remain destitute following heavy rains that destroyed houses and property on Monday. This is not the first time to happen, as rains also destroyed houses in the same area last year. One of the eyewitnesses, Ben Sumbulera, explains how it all started to Bonex Julius.
What happened is that it started raining in the morning. There was a lot of thunder and strong winds. Now, water was coming from upstream with force. In one of these houses, there was a man and his family. We believe the man is dead. He was trying to save a basin that was being washed away. That is when he was washed away by the water. His wife survived because she held on to one of the window frames.
Quite sad, but now taking you to international news. Tanzania's President Jakaya Kikwete has fired a senior government minister accused of wrongly taking $1 million from a businessman. Land and Housing Minister Anna Tibaijukuja had not shown due diligence when she took the money, he said. Tibaijukuja, a former UN official, denies any wrongdoing. She is the latest casualty in a corruption scandal that has rocked Tanzania's government and energy firms, straining relations with donors. France is to step up police and military patrols in areas frequented by the public. In recent attacks, Prime Minister Manuel Valls has said up to 300 soldiers would be deployed around the country to boost security over the Christmas period. The attacks, seemingly unrelated in Nantes, Dijon and Tours, have left more than 20 people injured. In the latest incident, 10 people were hurt when a van was driven into a Christmas market in Nantes on Monday. And now in entertainment news, artists gave their all during the Entertainers Promotions Pungwe held at Motel Paradise in Blantyre. The show, which was more like a warm-up ahead of the festive season, started on Friday night and spilled over to the early hours of Saturday. Our arts reporter Sam Banda Jr. has more.
Fans braved the rains to enjoy music vibes during a Pungwe organized by Entertainers Promotions led by Jai Banda, popularly known as Mr. Entertainer. It was a show worth watching as it brought together a rich lineup of artists, which included Chirega-based reggae group Black Missionaries, Mr. Ku, Anthony Magondesa, Moda Fumulani, Toza Matafari, Kozi Masimbe, Skefa Chimoto, and Malawi Police Orchestra. The artists did not disappoint on the night as they put up scintillating performances, with many thanking Malawians for the support throughout the year 2014. The musicians wished Malawians a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Malawi Police Orchestra lead vocalist Ande Kamanga said after their performance that they will be giving Malawians new songs next year.
Well, we enjoyed this show tonight, and I'm proud to be part of this show tonight because we have been silent for a long time, but now we are present and we are showing our fans how we are doing.
Organizer Mr. Entertainer, who goes by the slogan "always imitated but never equaled," had this to say about the Pungwe.
You know, as usual, many people crowd our shows. Of course, there was lots of rain, but people still braved the rain and came, and I'm quite happy for the support Malawians have been giving us.
There were no technical glitches on the night except delays in sound check by Black Missionaries, which closed the chapter on the night. For Times Television in Blantyre, I'm Sam Banda Jr.
And Kwatu Drama Group is back in the limelight with a new production titled Kulira Kwa Ana. The play is the fourth for the group this year and the last. Arts reporter Sam Banda Jr. spoke to the group's director, Eric Mabedi.
We are launching a play called Kulira Kwa Ana. This is a story about blessings who made Mavis pregnant and then decided to give her drugs to abort. But Mavis refused because she was afraid of her life. But later on she gave birth to a baby boy called Nyengo. And we are launching this play on Christmas Day, right on Christmas Day, at the capital city motel in Liwonde. On Friday, we are coming down to Liwonde at New Club 21 in Liwonde. Then Saturday afternoon, we'll be at Mulanje View Motel. And then finally, we are coming back to Blantyre Cultural Center here in Blantyre. We want people to come. I'm very grateful. I appreciate the support that people give us. We have been there for the past 35 years. It's not easy to be in the entertainment world and being evergreen for 35 years.
We'll be right back with business, but first let's take a look at the exchange rate.
Reach out to even more of your friends in Malawi with MTL's even wider network coverage. MTL has expanded its mobile network to cover Mwanza, Ntaja, Palombe, Ponela, Nkhotakota, Dowa, Mzimba, Jenda, Rumpi, Chitipa, Chisasu, Luangwa, and Mulanje. Now you can enjoy 3G internet and the most affordable and stable voice network in these areas. Get a 3G EVDO dongle at 14,999 kwacha only and save money when you buy the mobile phone. When you purchase an MTL mobile handset, if you pay 5,999 kwacha, you get 100 kwacha airtime. If you pay 9,999 kwacha, you get 5,500 kwacha airtime. That's 25% discount on the handset. If you buy the same handset at 12,999 kwacha, you get the phone for only 2,999 kwacha, plus a whopping 10,000 kwacha worth of airtime. That's 50% discount on the handset. Now that's value for your money. MTL is the real deal. Visit your nearest MTL service center or authorized distributor to get connected. For more information on MTL's mobile network coverage and more deals, visit or log on to www.mtl.mw.
MTL. Everyone, everywhere.
Oh man, I'm short on cash. Looks like somebody needs my help.
The awesome flying machine from National Bank. There with you, wherever you are. For your utmost convenience at hotel resorts, filling stations, shopping centers, schools, and so much more. National Bank's POS device. Available nationwide.
Welcome back to business. And the Malawi Stock Exchange says it is impressed with the way trading of bonds has taken off in the local bourse. MSC Chief Operating Officer John Kamanga was speaking in Blantyre on Monday after the listing of the 3 government bonds totaling to over 109 billion kwacha.
Through the investment community, especially the market players, the fund managers, the stockbroking community, the non-member institutions, there's lots of interest. And so far we have seen in terms of the interest through the demand, which has been actually posted on the dealing table, we have seen the demand ranging at around 31 to 32%. That in itself actually is a welcome development in the sense that if people are able to demand now 31 to 32%, and these rates are above the inflation rate, which is currently around 23.7%. So you find that there is now real returns to the investors if actually these would have been traded because they are above the inflation rate, which is currently ruling at 23.7%.
Malawi Stock Exchange Chairperson Augustine Chitenga described the listing of the bonds as an important milestone in the 18-year history of the local bourse. Chitenga said the issuance of the listing of the government bonds is in line with MSC's objective of providing an efficient and effective secondary market trading platform for financial instruments.
It's a very significant milestone in the sense that all along we've been dealing in equities. Now adding on a government bond, that also deepens the sector. So for those investors who don't want to invest in equities and would want to invest in bonds, that's the avenue in which they can unlock their potential.
And with that, we'll be right back with sports soon after this short break. Welcome back. Now in sports, B-Ford Mighty Wanderers have revealed that their club colours remain blue despite announcing that the team will be wearing black and orange jerseys next season after clinching sponsorship from the Japanese car dealers B-Forward. The change of the team colours caused confusion among the supporters who speculated that the Nomads had lost their identity. However, Nomads General Secretary Mike Butao says the agreement is only temporary to honour the conditions in the contract with B-Forward. B-Forward will pump 70 million kwacha in a one-year sponsorship deal with Wanderers.
Everybody knows we've been taken over by B-Forward, and their colours are orange and black, so we have to rebrand. I think what we need to know is their club colours and then their team colours. Orange and red will be team colours. Okay, for instance, if B-Forward sponsors, for instance, like for 5 years, after 5 years we revert back to our traditional club colours, which is blue and white. But as long as they are putting in 70 million into the team, then we have to go by what they want. They need to market themselves as well.
And that's the end of the news, but before we go, the headlines once again. Wrangles continue in the Malawi Congress Party Southern Regional Committee, with one faction saying it will hold elections this coming Sunday. A spate of armed robberies have rocked the commercial city of Blantyre. Rights body says Malawi is failing to meet most United Nations human rights recommendations. I'm Sam Kabambe, and we leave you with the weather update.
Welcome to the Times weather forecast for 24th December 2014 with me, Jisomo Mbwenye. Weather summary forecast for 24th December 2014. The Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ, is very active over Malawi. Expect locally heavy thunderstorms and rain showers. As a precaution, restrict children from playing over the rain to protect them from lightning strike. Forecast temperatures for 24th December 2014. Ngabu will report a minimum of 25 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Blantyre will report a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. Lilongwe will report a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Mangochi will have a minimum of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius, whilst Mzuzu will report a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. Cloud and rain forecast for 24th December. Shire Valley, partly cloudy in the morning, hot with few thunderstorms during the afternoon. Southern Highlands, cloudy with light rains in the morning, few thunderstorms and rain showers in the afternoon. Central areas, partly cloudy during the morning, becoming hot with few thunderstorms in the afternoon. Lakeshore areas expect rains during morning, hot with thundery showers later in the day. Northern areas, partly cloudy conditions during the morning, becoming hot with locally heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. Winds, light and variable, but expect strong winds in stormy areas. Outlook for Thursday. Expect rains to continue in some areas. Times for sunrise and sunset for 24th December 2014. Mzuzu, the sun will rise at 19 minutes past 5 and it will set at 8 minutes past 6. Lilongwe, the sun will rise at 16 minutes past 5 and it will set at 13 minutes past 6. And Blantyre, the sun will rise at 9 minutes past 5 and it will set at 11 minutes past 6. That was Times weather forecast. My name is Jisomo Mbwenye. Thank you for watching.